son of his father. He has always championed greater causes than self. He fought for multipartyism and paid the price by spending 8 years in detention. He came out stronger to fight for more reforms, including a new constitution. And like his father, he also said Tosha in 2002 for the sake of our country. In 2018, he embraced handshake with President Uhuru Kenyatta, a handshake that itself transforming our politics and shaping our future today. Our future today. To remember that Jaramogi said Tosha for Kenyatta in the next Tosha for Kibaki in 2002, and the handshake with the President Uhuru in 2018 in itself is another Tosha for Raila to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So the other day, I was so happy to see President Uhuru saying some exciting words in Nakuru. Let's listen for a minute, for a second, our president carefully.
Uongozi uko hapa. Uongozi sio mpira ya kuchezwa kwa kiwanja. Uongozi sio sprint, ni marathon. Wewe utakimbia hapa, by the time umefika pale pumzi imeisha. Lakini mzee amekanyanga polepole akuja kupitia ukiwa bado kwa barabara.
Asante, President Kenyatta. Now, fellow Kenyans, guided by our simple truth, may I request you to join me in categorically declaring Raila Tosha for president in 2022. Thank you all.
Wakenya oye! Wakenya oye! Wakenya oye! Kabla sijaalika mgeni ambaye ametoka Amerika ili yeye pia azungumze, nataka kuita on behalf of Jubilee Party, nataka kuita Vice Chairman David Murathi asalimie nyinyi.
Haya. Mjana mko? Mimi leo nina furaha sana. Mimi ndio nilisema prepare for Raila Amolo Odinga to be the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Imefika ama haijafika? Imefika haijafika? Hebu tuonyeshe kwa mikono na miguu. SK Macharia, mimi nakubaliana na wewe. Kila mtu amesema baba tosha. Nataka niwaambie sisi ambao mnatuona hapa, Sisi ndio tulienda na porojo kubwa, na Bwana Kimemi alisema tuliingia kwa mlima na uongo na propaganda mbaya kwa baba. Sasa sisi ndio tutarudi huko kuambia ukweli na ku-unlock hiyo uongo tulipea. La mwisho mjue ya kwamba, na ni mzuri Bwana Atwali ameambia Gideon, sisi hatuna shida na jamii yoyote Kenya, hata jamii ya Wakamba, ya Wakalenjin, ya Waluya. Shida yetu iko na huyo mtu mmoja anaitwa Alibaba. Mnajua Alibaba and the 40 thieves? Si mnajua Alibaba na waizi wangapi? Hawa tu ndio tuko na shida na hawa. Sisi tumeamua hakuna mambo ingine, kama sio sasa ni sasa hivi. Na Jacom, these young people, they want change. They want change that they can believe in. Na wanajua huyo mtu hawezi kuwaletea change. Hakuna mtu mwingine anaweza kuleta change Kenya. Change that we can believe in isipokuwa ni nani? Ni nani atatuletea hiyo change? Ni nani atatuletea hiyo change? Ni baba. Bas,
Haya, asante sana Chairman David Muradhi. Chairman David, Wakenya oye. Sasa nataka tukaribishe mgeni wa baba ambaye amesafiri kutoka Marekani paka hapa ili akuja ahudhurie sherehe ya baba. Nataka mkaribishe Profesa Makau Mutua. Mpigie makofi Profesa Makau Mutua aje aongee na sisi. Profesa, karibu sana. Yeye anajua Kiingereza sana, hata anaweza ongea Kiingereza akitaka. Kiswahili sio lazima.
Wakenya mjambo. Amjambo Wakenya wenzangu. I have come here as both a personal friend and a political soulmate of His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. And I've come here to remind you that today is December 10th, 2021. And we are here to open a new chapter in our country's history. And so I've come also as a witness to history. When we want to go forward as a country, we must look at where we have come from. Okay, and when I look at where we come from, I can see that we have had some problems in this country that we have been unable to bring, to conquer those problems. The three enemies of ignorance, of poverty, and of disease. I want to tell you that there is no more important office in this republic than the office of the president of this country. And so therefore, we must be very careful about the character of the person that we entrust with that office. We must think not with our hearts, we must think with our heads. And we must look at the histories of the candidates who are presenting themselves for the office of the president of this country. When I look at those histories of the people who are presenting themselves, I can tell you, as a scholar of democracy and human rights, that there is no competition. It is not even close. If this was a football match, it will be over in the first 50 minutes. If you look at the history of the man that we call Agwambo, that is sitting behind me, just look at his history. He is the living longest serving political detainee. And what you want to ask yourself is why he was detained because he sacrificed his youth to fight for this country. I know the personal pain that the Odinga family has endured. I know the personal pain that Mama Ida has endured when her husband was away. But she cradled those children and she loved them and she cared for them. And we rarely mention her. I want you to give her a round of applause to Mama Ida. But many people who fight for freedom in their youth tend to become conservative in their old age. Mr. Odinga is different. Mr. Odinga has continued to sharpen his tools to become more progressive. He believes in servant leadership. He listens, he consults, and then he moves forward. The kind of country that he wants to give us is a kind of country where young people will find opportunity to develop their full potential, where women and girls will no longer be subject to violence, where education will be a right for all, where healthcare will be for all. Mr. Odinga will create in this country what I have called a human rights state, a welfare state, the kind of country that cradles you, embraces you, and allows you to develop your full potential. And so today, I just want to say that there are some people who are trying to compete with him. But let me tell you something. Mr. Odinga plays in the Champions League. He plays in the Champions League. And there is no candidate that I know of who can play with him in that league. And so I want you, if you are sitting down, please, I want you to stand up and repeat after me. Please stand up and repeat after me. By the power vested in me by the people of the Republic of Kenya, I here today pledge to work hard, to make sure that Raila Amolo Odinga becomes the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya.
Asante sana, asante sana. Asante sana. Haya, tunaweza keti. Tuketi. Profesa amesema to work hard. I told to work hard. Haya. Nataka kutambua hapa deputy governors ambaye wako hapa wote mmetambulika. Nataka kutambua governor wa Kiambu, Governor James Nyoro tena. Nataka kutambua chair lady wa maendeleo ya wanawake Kenya nzima. Mama simama juu. Nataka kutambua Mheshimiwa Fred Gumo yuko hapa. Niko hapa na Tony Gashoka na ameinua mkono juu. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. Sasa bana Mdomo Bagi, tuendelee mbele.
Naomba kwa kifupi sana msanii mwenye tajiriba kubwa Anastasia Mukabwa atatupa nyimbo kama kiashirio cha kumkaribisha Bi Daktari Aida Odinga. Anastasia Mukabwa tafadhali. Anastasia Mukabwa. Na niombe popote tulipo tusimame kwa furaha. Tusimame kwa furaha.
Wanaokudharau siku moja watakusalimia kwa heshima. Wanaokudharau siku moja watakusalimia kwa heshima. Wanaokudharau siku moja watakusalimia kwa heshima. Wanaokudharau siku moja watakusalimia.
Thank you. Wakenya mko? Wakenya mko? Vijana mko? Wamama mko? Asante sana. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, let me address him like that. Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. This is the first time I'm addressing him like that. You'll excuse me. All the leaders who are here, all friends and wananchi ambao wamefika hapa siku ya leo, na wale ambaye wanatuangalia kwa runinga, nimewasalimia nyinyi wote kwa jina la Mungu, jina la Yesu Kristo. Hamujambo? Hamujambo? God is good, and all the times. Yes, God is good, and that is his nature. Today, I feel highly honored and pleased to stand before you. To stand before you, just bring one message today. I'm talking on behalf, of course, my own behalf, also talking on behalf of their family, the Odinga family. And the Odinga family who are here, please just stand because I want to recognize you. Maybe you could come forward. Please come forward so that I see you properly. Come forward so I see. Auntie Beryl, I can see you. Please come forward. Auntie Beryl, come forward. Yes, I just want to quickly introduce members of the Odinga family. Some of them are very familiar faces that probably requires no introduction. With my elder brother-in-law, Dr. Oburu Oginga. Daktari. Thank you, Daktari. I'm here with my sister-in-law, Dr. Akinyi Wenwa. Auntie Akinyi. I'm also here with my other sister-in-law, Nyakamami, Adhia Mheshimiwa Ruth Odinga. Thank you. While I'm still talking about my sister-in-law, while I'm still introducing my sister-in-law, I would like to project back there, Beryl Achieng Odinga. She's over there. My other sister-in-law. Wow. Now, I'm here with my other... Now, my sister, another sister-in-law, Mheshimiwa Tabu Osewe Odinga. Please come forward so that I see you properly. Anna. My Nyeka co-wife, Dr. Anna Oburu Odinga. Thank you, Daktari. Oh, I'm also here with my sister. Honorable Clarice Oyo. Thank you. Wow, 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 wow. Woo. The family is big. I'm here with another sister of mine, my younger sister, Eunice Connie Sigei. She's from Bomet, but she's my sister. Very good. Hey, come. Jack is my nephew. Jack, come on. Jack Oburu, my nephew, and his lovely wife. Thank you very much, Jack and his wife. Elijah Oburu and his lovely wife, Nyamasai. Thank you, the two of you. And hey, come, Papa. My two nephews who are also happen to be Ghanaians.
Yes.
There is Sankara Busia and Papa Busia. The two are Ghanaians. Thank you very much. Hey, come and see you. Cheesy. Of course. And my niece, Cheesy. Looks like you're meaning here. Now, our daughter Rosemary Odinga. And we are also here with Junior Odinga, Junior Raila Amolo Odinga, and his son Lion Amolo Odinga. Standing over there on top of the car is none other than the famous Winnie Mandela Odinga. There she is. Thank you. So what I'm going to say is actually on behalf of all the Odingas that you've seen here. It's also on behalf of the family. Not every day I get the opportunity to talk to such a big crowd of people who love us. It is not every day that I come to talk about what I'm just about to talk about. Today, in the family, in the life of the family, and the life of Kenyans, and the life of many, many friends and relatives, those who are here and those who are not here, I know there's only one thing that you want me to say, and I'll say it today. I'm going to say just something small about Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. As a good friend, and as my dear husband, somebody I've known for many years, I know what he's capable of doing. And one thing, the passion that he's had for the many years, that's been over 40 years, is the love for this nation. It is the love for the people of Kenya. For many years, Raila believes, let me call him like that. You'll excuse me if I don't put honorable. He believes that Kenya can be a good place, better than what we have today. And I know he's capable of making Kenya a better place than we have today. Every time we see many young people, like the young people I see in front of here, and the young people who are not here, he always worries about the future of these young people. What kind of nation are we going to leave for these young people? These young people need education, and when you talk of education, quality education that will propel them to become responsible citizens of this nation. These young people requires medical care, so that they can have healthy bodies to be able to perform the jobs that they are required to perform. These young people, most of them need meaningful jobs. And the meaningful jobs can only occur if we perfect and resurrect our industries, our farming activities, our tourism, our many other activities that have gone down. It pains me when I see most of the time, we depend on things that are imported that can actually be produced in this country. I fail to understand sometimes what can we do so that we don't import eggs as if chicken in Kenya stopped laying eggs. It hurts me when we import sugar, when our farms, sugarcane farms, and probably I'll let you know that my mother was a sugarcane farmer. The sugarcane are rotting in the farms. We must put our act together. And my dear friend, Honorable Raila, I know you are capable of doing this and many more. So today, I want to release you to perform and to do what you need to do for the multitude of people who are here and those who are watching outside who are not here. I know you'll not let them down. And to wananchi, the people of Kenya, I release Raila to you today. And with those few remarks, may God bless you.
Asante. Asante.
Haya, asante sana mama kwa kupatia sisi baba ili atukomboe, atusaidie nchi yetu ya Kenya. Sasa tunataka kwenda kwa sherehe nyingine ndogo hapa. Kabla hiyo tuko hapa na Mheshimiwa Mwathi, tuko hapa na Mheshimiwa Maoke Maore, Masi Kakuya, Ruth Mwaniki na Mheshimiwa Mpuri Apuri, party leader wa Nompeo na East African Parliament. Tuko hapa na PS Unkuli na PS Richard Lisiampe, Senator Okongo Omogeni Senior Counsel. Sasa nataka tupate video ya baba kwa dakika 3. Baada hiyo tukue na speaker wa Kenya wa zamani Mheshimiwa Ole Kaparo. Weka hiyo video ya baba ya documentary.
It was a handshake that took Kenya by surprise. Straight out of the blue sky and seemingly away from the company of their respective close aides, President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga shook hands on the steps of Harambee House, the block housing the office of the president in downtown Nairobi. The handshake came against the backdrop of a mounting national crisis occasioned by the bitterly disputed 2017 presidential elections that included a rerun boycotted by Raila Odinga in October. The handshake was to be to a moment of statesmanship for both President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, who had at the time styled himself as the people's president, complete with a contentious mock swearing-in ceremony. The handshake before a shocked crowd of media cameras suddenly ended a political crisis that was on the verge of dividing the country, even physically. To a stunned audience of their divided supporters, President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga explained the objective of the handshake. Objectives included a 9-point joint agenda.
Kenya cannot succeed without all of us. It needs all of us. And this is, to me, the spirit of the handshake. It is not about two people. It is about bringing a country back on track. It is about bringing the people of a nation to feel once again that they are part and parcel of the whole. It is to remove the issue of people feeling marginalized, isolated, left out, and to encourage a feeling that existed in this country once upon a time when some of us were children, but we hear those stories.
Tulikuwa tuambia watu wetu tunaenda Canaan. Lakini tulipofika kwa mto Jordan tukapata mamba pale. Sasa tukasema tujenge madaraja ya kuvukisha watu tukuingia wapi? Ana Jubilee na pamoja.
Born Raila Amolo in Maseno in January 1945, Raila Odinga is a scion of one of Kenya's foremost freedom struggle heroes, Jaramogi Ajuma Oginga Odinga. The older Oginga was an independence firebrand that, together with Jomo Kenyatta and other leaders, fought the cause of ending colonial rule and negotiated the constitutional order of Kenya at the famous Lancaster conferences in London. And to a politically conscious father was Raila Odinga born. And as a child growing up, he watched his father rise up to become the country's first vice president when Kenya was declared a republic in 1963.
Harambee! Kama shamba yetu harambee!
Raila Odinga's own political consciousness set in the mid-1970s when it became apparent that the country was on a general relapse, complete with the rise of official political intolerance. Events that included political assassinations and intimidation, arrest and detention of government critics quietly stoked the reformist flames inside Raila Odinga, and by the end of the 1970s and the beginning of the 1980s, he joined the list of those targeted as critics of the repressive state. A coup attempt by elements of the Kenya Air Force on the 1st of August 1982 marked a turning point for Raila Odinga as he was detained and tortured, having been falsely accused of a role in the coup attempt. For 6 years, Raila Odinga was detained without trial and held in solitary confinement. He was released in February 1988 only to be rearrested in September the same year for allegedly engaging in political activities. Raila Odinga's second stint in detention lasted close to a year, ending on the 12th of June 1989. His subsequent freedom did not last long. For the third time, Raila Odinga was arrested again on the 5th of July 1990 for being part of a group of brave human rights and political reforms crusaders that had dared question the repressive political climate under the single-party rule. life in exile. He sneaked into Uganda disguised as a priest and proceeded to exile in Norway. Life in exile was not to be too long. Back home, the struggle he had been part of was bearing fruit faster than some anticipated. In December 1991, the notorious Section 2A of the Constitution was repealed and Kenya reverted to the multi-party system it abandoned in the 1960s.
Pendekezo langu ni kwamba badala ya sisi, kwa sababu ninawahurumia mama, nawahurumia wazee, nawahurumia vijana wa university, wa secondary school, wa primary schools wako na mimi, na sitaki hata moja awawe au aumie. Tufungue section hiyo, na nauliza nyinyi nyote kukaa na mimi, tuende barabara yetu tukiwa KANU pamoja. Lakini visiwe vyama vya ukabila. Kama naandikisha na kama ni ya ukabila, it will not be registered.
Odinga returned from exile in February 1992 to begin life in elective politics, winning and retaining the seat of Member of Parliament for Langata constituency for more than 2 decades. In 2002, that is 10 years after the resumption of multi-party politics, Raila Odinga cemented his place as a consequential political force. One in a year, these political events the party in defeated in the country's first ever free and fair democratic elections. Having unsuccessfully run for president for the first time in 1997, Raila Odinga embarked on a series of breathtaking experiments that included joining KANU and seizing the strategic all-powerful position of Secretary General.
Napendekeza kwamba Mheshimiwa Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi achaguliwe kama mwenyekiti wa chama cha KANU.
But the dalliance with KANU came to a thrilling end when Raila Odinga disagreed with President Daniel Arap Moi's 2002 succession script. Moi had dramatically leapfrogged a youthful Uhuru Kenyatta over the large cast of seasoned hands that now included Raila Odinga. The fallout for Moi was particularly costly as Raila Odinga walked out with a huge chunk of KANU leadership that included then Vice President George Saitoti. Opposition unity was Raila Odinga's new mission, a mission he pursued with selfless zeal as illustrated by his consequential endorsement of Mwai Kibaki, the famous rallying call Kibaki Tosha. The formation of the National Rainbow Coalition (NARC) and the endorsement of Mwai Kibaki proved the political masterstroke. KANU and Moi were outfoxed, and Raila Odinga's energetic campaigns across the country constituted the final rites for a party whose assured defeat was just an election away. With Mwai Kibaki confined to a wheelchair by a nasty road accident, the entire campaign revolved around Raila Odinga, who directed the show with ruthless efficiency. Kibaki and NARC won resoundingly, and Raila Odinga sat in cabinet as Roads and Infrastructure Minister. Having been elected on the promise of reforms and a new constitution, NARC embarked on the process, albeit with increasing reluctance among conservatives in government that felt reforms were no longer necessary after the removal of Moi and KANU from power. But Raila Odinga pressed on. And the Bomas of Kenya process of reviewing the constitution finally began. With conservatives shifting the game to the content of the proposed constitution, Raila Odinga formally drew the line and successfully opposed what he termed a mutilated version of the constitution NARC had promised Kenyans. In 2005, Raila Odinga resoundingly won the no vote against the proposed constitution. Against the back of that victory, the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, a party styled from the symbol of the no vote, was born, and retaining the voting patterns of the 2005 referendum, and with Raila Odinga as presidential candidate, ODM was a sure bet of its supporters in the 2007 election.
Sasa tunaenda kwa sherehe ya mwisho, lakini kabla hiyo nataka Peter Kenneth asimame juu atambuliwe, atukupatie nafasi. Mheshimiwa Peter Kenneth yuko hapa, Senator Amos wako yuko hapa, na Women Rep ya Nairobi Madam Passaris, Esther Passaris. Sasa nataka kualika former Speaker of the Kenyan National Assembly, Mheshimiwa Francis Ole Kaparo. Mheshimiwa, karibu.
Order. Order for real. Before, kabla sijakuwa speaker, wacha niwe Kaparo kwanza. Na kama Kaparo, Mheshimiwa Raila, kwa wakati huu wote tumekuwa marafiki, umetafuta kura, sijakupa. Lakini safari hii utapata kura yangu na marafiki. Na najua siko peke yangu. Kuna wengi tu Kenya mzima hii ambao kwa mara ya kwanza wataungana na wale wengi miaka yote wamekupigia kura na utashinda. Sasa washa nirudi kazi hiyo ingine. Sio imetosha? Kazi yote ambayo inafanywa lazima kuwe na mazao. Na tumekaa mchana mzima tumezungumza, tumeimba. Sasa itafika wakati wa kutoa uamuzi. Lakini nataka kufanya hakikisho hii. Mkutano huu ni wa Kenya, sio ya ODM. Hiyo pengine itakuweko baadaye. Kuna ODM wako hapa, vyama vingine wako. Hii ndio azimio la umoja, ili wengine wasije wakafanya makosa ya kwamba ile resolution tumepitisha hapa hata ni ODM. Hapana, hii ni azimio la umoja. Tumefahamiana? Sasa na kuna bwana aliyeleta mjadala, atakuja kuwasomea mjadala huo, tutachangia kidogo, alafu tutaweka kwa kura ya umma. Yule bwana alileta mjadala hapa ni Dr. Nyamu Joka. Sijui kama bado una haja na mjadala wako, na kama uko nayo kuja wasilisha.
No, it's okay. I'm addressing Your Excellency. No, excuse me. Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, you will remember that in the early 1960s, your father traveled through Nyanza, and every time he attended a meeting, he would say, Piny Owacho. The people are saying. I am here, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Prime Minister, as the voice of the people. I, Davis Nyamu Njoka, a registered voter in Mathioya constituency in Murang'a County, within the region of the Mount Kenya, do hereby propose a motion that His Excellency Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, EGH, vies to become the President of the Republic of Kenya in the coming presidential elections in the year 2002. The reason why I am making this proposal is because we as Kenyans believe that we are safe in your hands as the President of the Republic of Kenya, because you are a young and patriotic Kenyan who carry our hopes for a safe and equitable society in the Republic of Kenya. I move this motion.
Thank you.
Okay?
Order. You must read your motion well. The copy I have is that the election will be in August 2022, not 2021. Is that what you mean?
I read 2022.
Thank you. Do you have a seconder? Where is the seconder?
Honorable Mishi Juma Mboko, who is a voter in Likoni constituency, Shikadabu Ward, from the coastal region. I second the motion that His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, EGH, vies for the presidency in the forthcoming presidential election in August 2022. I am confident that Baba Raila Amolo Odinga has what it takes to transform the economy while embracing digitalization, creating employment, and ensuring inclusivity. I believe devolution will thrive. I beg to second the motion.
Order now. Order. I will now propose the question, which is that following wide Azimio la Umoja consultations in all the regions of our great country, we, the people of Kenya, gathered here today at Kasarani Stadium for the Azimio la Umoja National Convention, this 10th day of December 2021, do hereby request His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, EGH, order to present himself as a candidate in the forthcoming August 2022 presidential election. That's the question. I will give 2 opportunities to 2 young people, and then maybe we'll put the question after that. And I will have the first person to make a contribution, Irene Mayaka, a young lady from the Nyanza region. Irene.
Irene Mayaka, a young person from Nyanza region, I wish to state the following: that His Excellency, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, has devoted his entire life to fight for the struggles of liberating this country. I further state that in this struggle, Raila's focus has been on the ideals of inclusivity, devolution, sharing of power, and economic empowerment of young people, women, people with disability, and the marginalized. And I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt, that through his presidency, these ideals will be achieved. I beg to support the motion.
Thank you. I think I will give the last intervention to another young person from the western side of our country, Mr. Moffat Mandela.
I, Moffat Mandela, from the Western Kenya, a youth from Western Kenya, wish to state the following: that this country needs a statesman at the helm of political leadership. His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga has always put this country first. That he has always put this country before his personal and political interests. His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga has always had a big heart that is forgiving everyone that has always wronged him. His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga is a man of great humility, and it is these qualities that we need in a leader that will take this country forward. It is in this background that I want to support.
Thank you. I now wish to put the question, which is that following wide Azimio la Umoja consultations in all the regions of our great nation, we, the people of Kenya, gathered here today at Kasarani Stadium for the Azimio la Umoja National Convention, this 10th day of December 2021, do hereby request His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, EGH, to present himself as a candidate in the forthcoming presidential election in August 2022. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many order. As many as a contra opinion say no, the ayes have it.
Wakenya we! Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. Haya. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, I am very delighted and I stand before you here today, a proud son of Kenya, a liberation fighter and a servant of the people for the last 50 years. Today, I boldly declare that I'm neither repentant nor regretful of my own experience in the fight for a liberated Kenya. I bear my physical and psychological scars with pride. And this is because my country was worth it then and is worth it now. I bear scars of liberation with pride and embrace it. By the way, the tears from the torture chambers are still running, as you can tell from the handkerchief that never leaves my hand. For years, I was allowed to speak in English. For 6 straight years, I did not sleep on a bed. For months on end, I was either held communicado in solitary confinement or handcuffed and in transit to the next prison or detention camp. A relative died, including my mother and my own brother, and I never got the chance to say goodbye. I would not wish this to torment upon anyone, not to get the comrades who endured torture and survived those dark days of despair. You would never let Kenya degenerate down the road of terror. No, not on our watch, not on my watch. But there was a positive side to the story. About a friend of legendary beauty with brave heart of love. And this is the woman who stood by me when I was shunned by many. This is the wife of my youth, love of my life, and partner to death, Mama Aida Betty Nyawira Odinga. Of long and uncertain incarceration, if I was not reading the Holy Bible, I found solace in Mama Aida's love and support. She became a constant guest in the police cells, constant arrest and harassment. I can't. What makes a great nation is the men, but the men is honest. Why we miss if I do not that gave sacred licenses to stand tall, to speak free, and to think big on this very day. And here I'm talking about my comrades in arms, both alive and those who have fallen. I pay homage to those who have gone before us, the fallen heroes of the second liberation. These include Kenneth Nyindo Matiba,
and Charles Robia. Many do not recall that I was detained at Community Maximum Prison on the same day with two compatriots on the 5th of July 1990 for demanding multipartyism. Other fallen compatriots include George Anyona, Jean-Marie Sirone, Martin Shikuku, Mukaru Ng'ang'a, Okioko Mbaka, and Wangari Maathai. I also pay homage to all the audacious martyrs who, for the sake of the people, chose constant crucifixion over relative comfort of conceding to repression. I hold the deepest respect to living icons like Mukami wa Kimathi, the wife of Dedan Kimathi. They called her the worst because, like Kimathi, her husband, Mukami was a fearless fighter who mobilized daring bands of women in complex undercover Mau Mau operations. I salute her. Other liberators include Ngugi wa Thiong'o, whose powerful written words enriched the ideologies of the struggle against the one-party regime. Koigi wa Mwere, whose fearless voice inspired many to action. I remember Dr. Odhiambo Mbai, the fearless chair of the Devolution Committee at the Bomas Conference, who was brutally assassinated, and Dr. William Mutunga, who distinguished himself as a selfless champion of social justice and comrades in the detention chambers. We also had Katama Mukangi, Kaimoji Wachira, Alamin Mazrui, all those colleagues who were with us at that time. In the course of this struggle, there have been ups and downs, advances and retreats, but we have never lost our direction. At this point, I must pay homage to my brother, His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, for the foresight and sense of patriotism in initiating the dialogue that led to the handshake. It takes a seasoned statesman to shake the hand of his rival. I thank him. In the course of our discussions, we agreed that Kenya is greater than the two of us. We agreed that despite years of progress, has not quite taken away of how our fathers envisaged. Where our founders envisaged unity, we have been held back by divisions, tribe against tribe, region against region, men against women, leader against leader. As if these divisions have not been costly enough, there are still massive efforts by other people to divide us further, as rich and poor, young and old. We agreed that where our fathers dreamt of plenty within our borders, poverty has taken deep roots in our land. We agreed that we must deal a deadly blow to corruption before it brings down our country. We resolved to work together to unite our people in order to realize the Kenyan dream as coined by our founding fathers. Justice is our shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders. That is the foundation of the Azimio la Umoja. I must add here that with this reconciliation, I ask for nothing, and I will never ask for anything except the opportunity to serve. Peacemaking is not a self-enriching enterprise. It is a calling from God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. As I witnessed, listened to, and collected on my Azimio la Umoja tour of every corner of our greatest republic over the last 3 months. This meeting today, the nation of the Azimio la Umoja you have taken together, and you have already seen through the videos some of the issues that were raised during the celebrations. Kenyans spoke meeting. And because wananchi reminded me that land issues remain a subject of pain. Many families long for the privilege of possessing family land that they can pass down to generations. They cried about the huge impact of the Standard Gauge Railway on their businesses. We traveled into the river North Rift, and there I listened to concerns of residents whose livelihoods are being destroyed by cartels in agriculture. People who import maize their maize. They lamented the dairy and beef sectors, the high cost of inputs. The citizens of West Pokot County wondered where there was a West Pokot. There is no east. Specifically, community, the national census with a code and their own development projects, and the creation of 2 more constituencies and 5 wards. I also spent time in the Mount Kenya, both west and east, and I can confirm to this congregation that if the mountain was moved, it would be impossible to climb it. The mountain has to be bumpy for you to scale it. On this, I'm happy to note that I've reached very close to the peak. I've seen the Batian and the Lenana peaks, and the people have promised that we shall walk together to the promised land yonder, if I prove that I understand and shall address their concerns. Residents express concerns about the equitable distribution of development resources within the region and the proportional representation. They summarize it in the one call for 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. And they want to earn more from their tea, coffee, pyrethrum, vegetables, potatoes, rice, and dairy. Nyanza complained about non-functioning and collapsed cotton, sugarcane, fishing, tobacco, tea, and soapstone industries, and the denial of economic opportunities for the region. In Turkana, the continuing challenge of general insecurity, poverty, drought, and famine were raised repeatedly. In the lower eastern, the local communities complained of a serious lack of water, recurring famine, and lack of economic opportunities. Northern Kenya, profoundly let down by Nairobi. Their children by their own country. Education is collapsing due to insecurity, and livestock sector is severely threatened by drought and disease. I took note that while our people of Mount Kenya spoke of 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling, Northern Kenya spoke of 1 man, 1 kilometer, 1 shilling. Indeed, Kenya is diverse in its needs and its ideas to address the needs. In Western Kenya, I was repeatedly reminded of the local industries like sugar that had been allowed to collapse due to corruption, neglect, and mismanagement. Fisheries and mining are struggling. Young men and women who would have gained from the local thriving industries spoke of how they are forced to migrate from home to seek opportunities elsewhere. The Mag community is worried about lack of livestock and pastoralist economy. They worry about the environmental degradation upstream, which impacts them directly. They have their historical injustices over land. Then they are also concerned about the environmental degradation and the Mau forests. These are just some of the concerns that I noted, internalized, and I took them on as a personal mission. Listening to our people made me look back over the last 5 decades. It became crystal clear that while much has been achieved, much remains to be done. I stand here deeply concerned, indeed horrified, at how our peers at independence left us far behind. Nations like South Korea, Malaysia, fellow Kenyans, following the listening hours and to address the concerns that have emerged, we came up with a 10-point people's program as follows. Point number 1, Inua Jamii, Pesa Mfukoni. A nation's greatness is judged by how it treats its poor and vulnerable. Pesa Mfukoni is a social protection program that will deliver 6,000 shillings per month to the 2 million to the 2 million of the country's most needy families. And I want to emphasize, it is not a handout, but an investment and a foundation for a new transformational value chain that will also trigger massive economic activity and create thousands of localized small-scale businesses and enterprises across the country. This will lead to millions of jobs and the eventual development of a thriving middle class. The resulting middle class and small and medium enterprises will be a robust market for larger more national corporations. Point number 2, Baba Care. Each of us has experienced the all-consuming strain that accompanies the ill health of a family member. We will ensure that each and every Kenyan has a social insurance, a health insurance plan. Those who cannot pay, the government will pay for them, so that no Kenyan should die or suffer or lack treatment because of lack of money. Point number 3, kazi kwa wote. This is about securing the welfare of the people by generating avenues for productivity through job creation programs, for investing in the critical Juakali sector and other macroeconomic stimulation schemes. Point number 4, uchumi kwa kina mama. This will focus on the true multitudes of the wealth in our community. The program will unlock for women-led businesses and provide support for women and other enabling factors such as access to assets for production, land tenure, and proportional representation in all government levels. Point number 5, hashtag inawezekana. We know that our youth are closer to the future than we are, but they are exploited as cannon fodder for bad politics. Now more than ever, we need to invest in preparing our youth for that future. The program will equip our youth with the mindset, skills, funds, and technology to enable them innovate at par and even surpass their global counterparts. Point number 6, waste not a single child. Education is non-negotiable. This program be an aggressive scheme to ensure that all, not some of our children, get rightful access to quality education. Point number 7, for Northern Kenya. Sorry. Point number 7, fukuza njaa. The aim here is not to merely feed, but to generate agricultural bounty that Kenya has the potential to produce. We will factor in climate change, adaptation, and mitigation to support and help realize high agricultural productivity across the nation. Point number 6 is about Northern Kenya, where children have dropped out of school because of lack of teachers. We will have affirmative action program to ensure that teachers are admitted at a lower rates so that we can have sufficient teachers to teach in schools in Northern Kenya. Point number 9, one county, one product. I firmly believe that the idea of devolution in Kenya has the transformative potential of rich mineral mines, abundant oil fields, and other traditional markets of our nation's affluence. One county, one product program is designed to be a launch pad to a Kenya which consumes its products, exports excess, and registers surpluses, not deficits. The national government will support materially and technically towards an ultimate vision where the 47 counties will begin industrializing at unstoppable rates. The 10th pillar of my vision has to do with the principles of administrative continuity. By continuity, I mean building and improving on the gains that have been made by the administrations that came before. Africa suffers a retrogressive mindset of starting afresh instead of advancing existing accomplishments. When one administration sets up something, the next knocks it down. This makes many countries in the continent stuck in a constant state of ignition, never making it to acceleration and takeoff. Kenya must not be a start-stop nation. This is a waste of time and resources and should not be entrenched in Kenyan political culture. For example, President Kenyatta's Linda Mama program could not have worked without the construction of health facilities and upgrading of transport networks that we undertook during the Grand Coalition government. The plan for a rapid bus transit system could not have been operationalized without the construction of the Thika and Mbagathi roads. The plan for the Lamu port dates back to 1972 when President Mwai Kibaki was finance minister. It took almost 50 years for it to be launched by Kibaki as president in 2012 as he was leaving office. President Uhuru Kenyatta took it up in 2013, ran with it, and has implemented it. Lamu project is one whose ultimate vision I see clearly. Ignoring it squanders opportunity. By another 50 years, to have a world-class transshipment hub that will reap exceptional economic benefits for our country. My manifesto will bear a crystallized description of the 10-point People's Program, delving into workings and plans that will actualize it for the people. These are just but highlights of new programs that we shall roll out to respond to needs expressed at Azimio la Umoja events. Very soon, ladies and gentlemen, I will unveil a detailed manifesto addressing the critical concerns like corruption, public debt, industrialization, ICT and digital economy, promotion and protection of businesses, and particularly protection of private property. Our business community deserves protection and they will get it. Fellow citizens, at the top of our national government, where leadership is exercised to the maximum in governing and changing our nation is the presidency. The president makes a difference in the life of this nation. Having listened to your calls during our conventions, giving my credential to this congregation and the nation at large, and having spelled out the people's aspirations as I understand them, and the Azimio la Umoja, and having given my 10-point vision for Kenya on this day of December 10th, 2021, I, Raila Amolo Odinga, having been faithful and committed to building a national, democratic and progressive Kenya in our lifetime, having worked for many patriotic Kenyans to achieve this goal, I do hereby accept to present myself as a presidential candidate at the presidential elections on the 9th of August 2022, following the request and unanimous by Azimio la Umoja. I'm not running for the president to propose, but propose better policies. I mean, I'm at war with ideologies that will lead this nation in the wrong direction. Ideologies that divide us instead of uniting us. Ideologies that put the personal above the national good. Now, I want you to listen to me. Vijana mpo? Vijana hoi? Wacha nimalize kwa Kiswahili. Mimi natoa shukrani kwenu nyote kwa kufika siku ya leo kwa wingi kwa hii sherehe yetu ya leo. Sasa mimi nataka kutangaza sisi kuzuru Kenya sababu leo nimejibu ati baba ataendelea baba atakuwa kwa kinyang'anyiro ya kugombea kiti cha rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Baada ya kuzunguka kila mahali, tulikubaliana na ndugu yangu Uhuru Kenyatta tutaleta Wakenya pamoja, na kuna vitu vitano. Moja inaitwa utu, pili ni undugu, tatu ni uzalishaji. Yote pamoja na kinaitwa Azimio. Hiyo ngojeni kidogo vijana, ngojeni kidogo vijana. Azimio la Umoja itakuwa Azimio la Umoja movement. Itakuwa ni will be a coalition. Azimio la Umoja movement. Na nikisema Azimio mnasema inawezekana. Azimio la umoja. Azimio. 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 Leo tuko na hereby launch Azimio la umoja movement.
Tuimbe kwa pamoja.
Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda, Kenya nchi tunayoipenda. Twajivunia sana tukijiita wa Kenya.
Tuimbe kwa pamoja.
Baraka. Kenya nchi yenye baraka. Tumekomboa Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, tumebadili mwendo. Tutalinda katiba mpya. Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote. Mtu mwenye kutenda haki. Na ukipenda Kenya,
tunaimba kwa pamoja.
Yenye kuvunja amani. Hatutaki matata Kenya. Wenye nchi Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele. Wenye nchi Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, nchi yenye upendo, hatutaacha Kenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu,
tupeperusha mabango na kofia na mikono yetu yote. Akina mama vigelegele.
Kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele. Na nikienda nje sitasahau Kenya, na nitabaki Mkenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele.
Asante.
Mwenye nchi Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha.
Asante sana.
Na tumeapa sote wenye nchi ya Kenya, kutumikia Kenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Wenye nchi Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Sitaiacha Kenya nchi yangu, mimi mwenye Kenya daima. Umoja wetu Kenya tudumishe, mimi mwenye Kenya daima. Sitadanganywa kamwe na porojo.
Asante sana. Asante DJ.
Kuleta chuki kati yetu, mimi mwenye Kenya daima.
Asante. Tunaombwa tupeane nafasi muafaka, wananchi tusalie tumetulia, ili kumruhusu viongozi kumpa kongole Injinia Daktari Raila Amolo Odinga kwa kubali mwito. Na niombe nipewe leo ni leo, nipe leo ni leo, asemaye kesho ni muongo. Niombe tumpe nafasi ya kutosha kwa jukwaa, tumpe nafasi ya kutosha. Pamoja tukisherehekea leo ni leo, asemaye kesho ni muongo. Tumushangilie tumupungie baba mkono, huku tukiimba pamoja kwa furaha. Leo ni leo, asemaye kesho ni muongo. Wapi vigelegele? Vijana wote tushuke kwa jukwaa, tucheze tukiwa chini. Asante DJ. Asante DJ. Niombe mulio kwa jukwaa mushuke ndio muziki iendelee. Wale mko kwa jukwaa shuka, muziki iendelee. Shuka, wale uko kwa jukwaa shuka ndio reggae icheze sasa. Najua mnataka kucheza. Shuka kwa jukwaa tucheze ngoma. Ni rahisi hivyo. Shuka kwa jukwaa. Wale mko hapa kwa jukwaa, teremuka tucheze muziki.